So my future plans, this Wednesday, um, my girlfriend and I took a trip up to central northern California to visit my family. Actually, mostly to visit my biological mom, who was just transferred to a nursing home because my grandmother and my aunt, they couldn't take care of her anymore. She needs 24/7 supervision. She can't stand up on her own. A lot of things she just can't do on her own anymore, and she was just diagnosed with early onset of dementia. So things are pretty bad as far as her health goes. She's really young. She's only 56. When she was younger, though, she did do a lot of drugs and alcohol, which is why you should not be doing drugs or alcohol. um, so she was diagnosed with liver cirrhosis, about 2 years ago, and kind of in denial for a while there. I just found out that she was going to be eligible if she could stay away from alcohol for a year and whatnot to get a new liver if there was one available for her. And she took off, and sure enough went back to her old pattern this last year. And then a few months later we got her again and brought her back home to the hospital, and brought her back home, and then she ended up in the hospital and then out and then in the hospital and back and forth. And so for a while there, I wasn't sure if she was going to go in a hospice or what was going to happen, but apparently she's doing better. I guess better by the standards of how she's been doing this last month, because when I saw her, she really wasn't in very good shape. My grandmother and my aunt, and they have to take turns feeding her, and we go visit her, which is really nice because my grandmother's only like 5 minutes away from the nursing home, which is really nice. So I went to go visit with my grandma yesterday, and my mom wasn't very alert. She was kind of coherent, and then we had to leave because after she had eaten, her lunch, she ended up throwing up. So she went to sleep immediately after, and then later on, my girlfriend and I went to go visit again, and she was sleeping, but she was more coherent. And I told her I was visiting her, and she said she was surprised. And then I was like, "You're surprised?" And she says, "Heck yeah!" And this entire time she's still like asleep and kind of out of it. And I don't know. It's kind of crazy to think about it and to think about how far she has regressed. It's scary. And it really makes me sad to see it really, really, really made me sad to see my grandmother feeding her, just because I know it must really hurt. So I don't know what's going to happen. But the reason I went was because I wanted to make sure that in the next couple weeks I'm going to be coming out to my family. But I wanted to make sure that if things didn't go well, there wouldn't be any conflict or anything that would keep me from seeing her or saying things that I need to say to her if she passed. I didn't want to have any regrets or have any last words for whatever reason if I couldn't go out and see her again. So there were things that I thought I would ask her, things that I wanted to know that she never answered, and conversations that I wanted to have with her, but that just, it wasn't a possibility. Maybe in the future if she gets better, I don't know, but right now I just know she's in a really bad state. And so I just told her bare minimum, is she could really only get out a few sentences, for every like 30 minutes. Yeah, so I just told her that I loved her and that I was there to see her, and then I said goodnight because she was going to sleep. So that's what's up. And so now my plan, now that I'm back home, I'm going to be contacting the aunt that I had come out to originally and tell her that I have already begun transitioning, because I don't believe I had told her that I was transitioning already, and see if she'll meet with my dad and I, and I'll just isolate my dad from my mom, so that way it'll be easier to come out, because ultimately the real bomb will be dropped when my mom finds out. And I don't think that I'm going to sit down and tell her, because I don't, as my counselor would put it, I don't have to put myself through that, you know. I have a choice. So I'm going to see another alternative plan to come out to her. We'll see. But happy things as far as changes, and kind of blue and scary things happening as far as like coming out and things like that. So it was really, really good to see my grandma and my grandpa. I love them so much, and I'd be really, really sad if, you know, they didn't want to see me anymore. And I really don't know what's going to happen in the future. I don't know. But, you know, ultimately this is for me, and being comfortable in my own body, and just being, you know, okay with how I am, and finding peace. So, till next time, you guys, hopefully I'll have a happier update. I'll probably update you guys on the coming out process, so maybe one more sad update, I don't know. But I'm looking forward to the future changes, and whatever God has to bring to me. Bye, guys.